From McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everyone. I'm Celie Stockmo alongside Addie Bogenreith as we get set for North Dakota High School volleyball action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Sheyenne Mustangs. Volleyball on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. We have an exciting game for you tonight. Stay tuned, and we'll return shortly right after this message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Busick, Olson and Associates, Electro Diagnostic Services, Enclave, Essentia Health, the Fargo Jet Center, Fusion Electric, Inform.com, Lorry's, Luther Family Buick GMC, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, OnSharp, RBC Wealth Management, Real Presence Radio, Sandine Law, Taxman, and Wolf Steel Construction.
All right, Addie. We have a pretty big game tonight, and I'm really excited to see where this takes us.
I agree, Celie. This is definitely a big match for both teams, just to build their confidence.
All right, who do you think are going to be the players to look out for Cheyenne tonight?
I think number 1, Mia Engel, the DS libero, and number 7, Isabel Albrecht, the middle hitter, will be very important parts of this game today. Defense is key, and the big block of number 7 and the crazy backcourt defense of number 1, I think will be a key to this match.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that defense is going to be a big thing for both teams today, and I think that we just have to see where this is going to take us. I know Shanley has some really great players on the floor tonight. I know Mesikuai Kim is still going to not be playing tonight, but we have Carly Holstein, great middle, amazing block, and when she gets those quick sets, it is over for the other team. And we also have Caitlin Oman, outside hitter. She had a really great game this last time we were broadcasting here at Shanley, and together they make an amazing block, which is something that Cheyenne is really going to have to look out for. I think we're just about ready to get started here, Addie. We got a lot of fans here tonight. Cheyenne definitely brought their team, their whole entire student section here. I think I'm really excited to see who's going to come out on top. I think right now the Deacons are technically ranked a little higher than the Mustangs, but it's definitely seeming like a pretty evenly matched game for me.
It's definitely going to be very close.
Stimson serving here.
And that will be an ace for her. Great serve by Stimson. Number 1, Stimson, back to serve again.
Another ace for her. That's 2 for Ella Stimson right away. That is actually crazy.
She puts a lot of pace on the ball, and it's definitely going to be hard for the defense to pass.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Addie.
Out the side on that one, very close.
Those are the tough ones. Definitely a lot of spot serving tonight, and I think that that's just one that they really wish they could get back.
Yeah. Number 24, Saxlin into the game. Number 6, Kaloran up to serve. Deep serve by her, pass by Cutterba, out to Robin. Great dig. Over in. Attempt by Holstein. Out to Saxland. Free ball sent over. Played by Metcalf. Out to Saxland. Blocked. Over. Stimson to Holstein, and that will do it. What a great swing from her.
Definitely, I think that was a great rally. I'm very impressed with the defense on both sides of the floor right there.
Number 6 into the game. Number 7, Robin, up to serve. And that is just long from her. Great call from the defense.
I hope that these missed serves don't become a repetitive kind of thing for the Deacons tonight.
Number 2, Abby Smith, up to serve. Played by Robin. Back to Robin. And that will be a kill just off the block.
The back row attack from her is just, it's so lethal. I mean, not a lot of people can really get on top of the ball like Clara Robin can.
Holstein up to serve. Great serve by her, sent over. Shorma on the ground, tip by Albrecht. Back to Ullman. Oh, great dig. Out to Saxland, Doug. Dump by Stimson. Over, barely. Ooh, that ball was going out. Great luck by Ullman, but that's down for Linguist.
Pretty high-paced game here, I think. Like, honestly, I'm seeing a lot of great kills, a lot of setups, not a lot of free balls.
Agreed. Detman serve over. Tipped by Rentschler. Ullman played it up. Shorma over. Out to Rentschler, but that set just a little out. Wasn't able to be played.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for Rentschler. I think they've gotten very good at getting some of those off balls, but you can never be complete perfect.
Detman up to serve again. That one played by Rentschler. Oh, miscommunication. That will not go over for the Deacons. That ball really needs to come up. Don't you think, Seeley?
I think so. I feel like we're not hearing a lot of talking from them either. The Deacons really have to play team volleyball. Whenever they come out of huddles and get excited, that's when they play their best. And right now, it's seeming a little stagnant.
Yeah, I agree. Good up by Kaloran. Back row to Smith. Right side to Ullman. Tip. Great defense. Over by Saxland, and that's a kill for the 9th grader.
That was very impressive, kind of off kilter there, and she still got that one down. That's a great kill.
Detman up to serve. Great up by Stimson. Sent over. Linguist blocked. That is a great block for the Deacons, and that is what we expect this game to have. Number 3 into the game for the Deacons. Number 2, McNeely up to serve. Over, off ball, sent, oh, and that's just into the net for Linguist. McNeely up to serve. Great serve by her, handled well by Smith, out to Linguist, blocked. Up, right side to Saxland, tipped over, great up by Cutterba. McNeely with the dump and the kill. That is so smart for the Deacons. McNeely up to serve again. Ooh, that may have been going out of bounds, but that's an ace for her. Timeout, Mustangs. This game right now is exactly what we thought it was going to be. Defense and blocking is crucial. McNeely up to serve. Sent over, handled by Kaloran, and that's an ace for McNeely. Great serving by her. Great run. Bryn McNeely back to serve again. Over, handled by Engel. Outside to Languis, and that's just out the sideline.
That was a laser beam of a hit too, but just out of bounds.
That was very strong and aggressive. McNeely up to serve again. Handled by Engel. Up, right side to Saxland, tipped over, and that's just a little bit of a missed block by Sharma.
I think I've seen that a lot this season so far for the Deacons. They really struggle against some of those well-placed tips. I know they can get a block up on a hard hit, but they gotta work on getting those tips back over the net.
Yes, that's very important. Engel to serve. Out to Rentschler, back to Rentschler. Great spot by her. Detman set to Blado, and it looks like she'll just be under the net.
Some great serving streaks. We've had the Deacons have had a lot of aces so far.
Yes. Rentschler to serve. In to Rentschler, great float, handled by Engel. And that will just be a double contact for the setter.
Really kind of a sloppy start here recently from Sheyenne. Nothing like I was expecting from them.
Very. I agree. Served by Rentschler, handled by Smith, out to Blado. Just a little mistimed, but that was placed perfectly. Kill by her.
I've seen that a lot from her. She really has good volleyball IQ, seeing where it has to go. You don't have to hit it that hard to get the point.
Yes. Vetter into the game for the Deacons. And Metcalf into the game for the Mustangs. Languis to serve. That's a high serve from her, handled by Vetter. Middle, or right side, excuse me, to Paul, and that will be a kill for her. Carly Hallstein into the game for the Deacons. Cutterba up to serve.
I hope we're going to start seeing some quicker sets to Holstein in the middle there. That's something that the Deacons have really been able to use to their advantage this season.
I agree. Serve handled, chased down by Engel, sent over. Vetter handled it well. Hallstein on the slide. That's a great swing from her. What do you think about that swing,
It gives me chills. Carly Holstein is such a versatile player. She can hit the quick set in the middle, and she can hit the slide over on the right side. It is just absolutely beautiful, catching the Sheyenne defense completely off guard.
Cutterba to serve. Handled by Linguist. Outside to Kaloran. Another missed block, but dug by Paul. Ooh. Ball that touched the ceiling, came back down. Free ball sent over. Right side to Metcalf. Right side to Paul for the Deacons, and that's a kill just off the block. We said that block would be important, Sealy. What have you really seen from these blocks so far?
Well, I think I'm seeing they're getting up, but they really are not doing a very good job of pressing over the net. Cheyenne especially. It feels like the Deacons are doing a very good job at seeing where that block is and hitting just on the edge of it. You can see that the Mustangs did get a touch on that ball, but it just got pushed out of bounds. At the end of this match, I think it's going to be very important to kind of evaluate where we are defensively on both sides. I think we're seeing Cheyenne really struggling against the Deacons serve. What do you have to say about that?
I agree. There's been a lot of kind of sloppy touches on the serve-receive side for the Mustangs, and that is leading in a lot of free balls sent over to the Deacons. And the Deacons will make you pay if you send over too many free balls.
I agree, and I think the Deacons can honestly do an even better job than they are at making the most of those. I mean, getting good passes to the setter, to McNeely or Stimson, whoever it is, and making it count.
I 100% agree, Seeley. Cutterbutt to serve. That's a good serve by her. Linguist, pass, Engel with the set. Blocked by Robin. Denied swing by Blado. Is that what we want to see more from the blocks?
I mean, I think so. I mean, the Deacons just showed that they're here to play. I mean, they got right over the net on that one. They knew the kind of speed of the ball, and they got there and put it straight down the floor.
Another free ball sent over to the Deacons. Paul with the swing. And that's the thing we've seen on sending over too many free balls. You cannot do that against this lethal Deacon offense.
I completely agree, Eddie, and I think what I'm seeing too is we have all these players all over the court for the Deacons making a difference. Paul has some great hits so far. Some great passes and digs by Vetter and Cutterba. And another ace. I don't think the Mustangs have had a single ace, and we're seeing probably at least 6 or more from the Deacons.
Cutterba up to serve. Handled by Engel. Outside to Kaloran. That's a good swing from her. Handled by Cutterba. Out to Robin. Tipped over. Dig by Detman. Out to Kaloran. Great touch by the block to slow it down. Out to Robin. What a dig by Linguist. Sent over by Engel. Another free ball. Middle to Holstein. And she is blocked. You don't see that often from Holstein. Usually she puts those away.
No, you really don't. I think that she kind of just misinterpreted what she was seeing from the block there. And I think one thing I want to touch on, too, is the Mustangs just seem a little off communication-wise. We saw Metcalf taking a ball there, and the setter was right over there, too.
Yes. Boudreaux served for the Mustangs. She sets out to Kaloran, and that's a great kill from her.
That's a nice one, and you can already see Cheyenne doesn't really seem phased. I mean, they're down 8, but it definitely does not feel like it.
Boudreaux to serve. Sent over, handled by Vetter. Holstein to pull it back in. Great swing by Albrecht. Middle Holstein, and that's just a little mistake. Very lucky for Holstein.
Yeah, you see her getting those with a little more speed usually, but again, whatever you need to do to get the point.
11 Ullman into the game, and number 1 Stimson to serve. Great serve by her, lots of pace, handled by Engel, right side to Kaloran. That's just out of bounds on the sideline. What I'm seeing right now from the Mustangs is a lot of pin action, outside or right side. I'd really like to see some of these big, tall girls like Metcalf and Albrecht getting some more swings. We've seen Saxland and Kaloran. I really want to see those tall girls. And that is a great block. Great timing. I love to see that.
No, I agree, and I think I completely agree with you. We need to see more action from the hitters on the Mustang side. I think they're just really struggling to get balls to their setter to make the most of the height and the strength advantage that they have on their team.
Kaloran up to serve. Number 24, Saxland into the game. Swing by Holstein, blocked, out to Ullman. Oh my goodness.
And if she gets started, this game could very well go Deacons very fast.
Yes, I agree. That's a great swing. She is a very important part of this offense. And when we see that in a position that during this season doesn't really hit, that's very impressive.
I agree.
Blocked by Ullman. She's doing it all right now.
And I just think for her, the biggest thing is consistency. If she can stay consistent for her team, it's a different game.
I agree. Robin to serve, outside to Saxlin, and that is posted in the corner.
That was a great spot. Tough break for the Deacons there, trying to get that one. Just not a lot of communication, just thought it was going out, but it in fact did drop right in that corner.
Gotta follow it, Seeley. Smith to serve. Out the sideline for her. We've seen a lot of missed serves from the Mustangs this game.
We definitely have. I know I started keeping track and kind of transitioned out of it. I think it's a tough one, and especially when the Deacons have some pretty good court awareness right now. You saw the Deacons followed that ball right to the sideline.
Holstein to serve, handled by Kaloran up tight, and that will be a back row attack. Number 7, Budo, is a back row setter, so she can't jump and attack that ball.
It just feels a little off seeing the Mustangs with this many kind of controllable errors right now.
I agree. Great swing by Albrecht. That's what we want to see more of. Blado into the game for the Mustangs, and Detman up to serve. Served by her, handled by Rentschler. Perfect pass up to Shorma, and that is a great swing.
That was a nice one from Sharma. I think I want to see more of her power. I don't think that she utilizes all the power that she has very often. I know she's been battling some injuries this season, but if she gets started, if the hitters get started in general for the Deacons, this game could very well just go their way quick.
I agree, Seeley. Serve by Badeau. Out of bounds, just barely.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's very close.
Up to serve is number 1, Stimson. Great serve by her, handled by Saxland. Great hustle by Kaloran, but that's just out of the reach of the Mustangs. Number 1, Stimson, up to serve again for the Deacons. Great serve by her, handled by Linguist. Out to Albrecht, blocked, out of bounds. That's a great swing. Smart by Albrecht to throw it off the hands of Omen.
Yeah, using the block like that. I know the Deacons, that was a pretty nice one, but just not over the net enough.
Kaloran up to serve. Handled by Vetter. Back to Robin. Dug by Linguist. Out to Saxland. Great swing by her, handled by Cutterba. Out to Ullman. Rolled over. Great hustle by Kaloran. Right side to Metcalf, and that's a great place tip. A little bit.
That was a little lucky on her part. It looked like it just rolled off her fingers. I know I want to bring attention. I know it says game 1 on your scoreboards at home, but it is game 2. It is 2-3. The score is correct, but it is game 2.
Oh my goodness.
She is getting started, folks. Caitlin Ullman has just a cannon for an arm, and if she can get a good, really any ball, she can make it happen.
Robin to serve, handled by Linguist, middle to Albrecht, blocked by Holstein. Great defense by Ullman and Robin to get that up. Right side swing, out of bounds. That is so good for the Deacons, and that will give them so much momentum to continue this set.
Yes, and I think one thing I'm seeing that I really love is that the Deacons are pretty even here. They're pretty excited throughout. It doesn't seem like a roller coaster like it so often is.
That was a great swing by Saxland, tucking it into the block of Holstein. Not many people can do that.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be hitting against her.
Smith up to serve for the Mustangs. Handled by Cutterba. Back to Robin. That swing just out of bounds for her.
Now that was a close one.
Very. There was a few players on the bench even celebrating for that point. Served by Smith. Out of bounds. That was so close.
Another close one. But again, doesn't matter if it's close. It's still a missed serve.
Holstein back to serve for the Deacons. Another missed serve. That one was a little farther out, don't you think, Seeley?
I'd say just a little bit. I mean, my eyes could be deceiving me, Addie. It's a tough one. I feel like varsity volleyball, we're not far into the season, but this is the time where missed serves just can't happen.
I agree. Detman to serve, handled by Robin beautifully. Back to Ullman, tipped over by her. Out to Saxland. Great dig by Cutterba.
That's a great dig.
Out to Rentschler. Great touch by Engel, but just not able to control it. That's a great swing from Rentschler.
Definitely. I mean, they were kind of caught in transition there. The libero for Cheyenne kind of took the ball, but number 2 was also kind of there. It's just all communication.
Paul into the game. McNeely up to serve for the Deacons. Handled well by Smith to Blado. Tipped over. Great defense by Cutterba. Way to pursue the ball. Right side to Linguist. Up by Robin. Out to Rentschler. A little mistimed, but still got it over. Out to Saxland. Rolled over. Great defense from Rentschler. McNeely jumping over.
Great hustle.
Blado with a deep tip, and that is the most perfect spot, Seeley. That will score there every time.
And that is just gorgeous. I think it's not even just the Deacons. Any team has an open spot in those deep corners. It is so rare for varsity players to have that much control over where the ball goes.
Engel to serve. Handled by, Rentschler, tipped over by Paul. Great swing.
Obviously, as the score can easily tell you, it's 7-7 here. It has been back and forth all throughout this game, too.
Rentschler to serve. Great serve by her, handled by Smith. Middle to Blado. Lucky hit off the net.
I think that kind of shows the type of player she is, too. The hit even hit the tape, and they still got the point. I mean, it's just the intimidation. It's everything for Sheyenne.
Metcalf into the game for the Mustangs. Linguist up to serve. Mistimed by Shorma and McNeely. Right side tip from Metcalf. And that's a very smart tip off the block.
And definitely, I think I haven't seen too many amazing kills, per se, from the Mustangs, but we're seeing a lot of greatly placed tips and pushes.
I agree. Linguist to serve, handled by Cutterba. Out to Robin. Great swing by her, but just blocked. That block of Blado and Metcalf is huge. What do you think about that, Seeley?
I mean, like we've been saying, the block is going to be a big part of this game. Both teams have a lot of size and a lot of height. We're just going to have to see who comes out on top, who can get their block up the quickest and, honestly, just the strongest.
And that's an ace for Linguist. Great serves by her as she's up to serve again. Linguist with another great serve, but Shorma with the better swing.
Again, really exciting to see her use the power that she has. Get a point for her team. That's a big one.
Cutterba back to serve for the Deacons. Serve over, and that's an ace for her. Great serving for the Deacons. Cutterba's back to serve again for the Deacons. Great serve by her, handled by Engel. Metcalf tipped over. Right side to Paul, tipped over again with the block. What do you think the block needs to change for both teams to stop getting used?
I think what's happening here is both teams know how great the other team's block is, and they're kind of scared to hit on it. So they're trying to place these tips ever so perfectly, and it's honestly working out for both teams very well.
I agree, Seeley. That's a great way to explain it. Great hustle by Linguist. Tip.
You saw it right there again. And both teams are not there to cover those tips. They've got to make changes.
Budo up to serve. Albrecht into the game for the Mustangs. Serve handled by Vetter. Paul with the swing. Set up to Kaloran. Back. Outside to Robin. Oh my goodness. That is beautiful.
You have Metcalf and Albrecht up on a block. That is frightening. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Budo to serve. Great dig by Vetter. Sent over by McNeely. Middle set to Albrecht. That's just out of bounds. Mustangs want to touch, but they're not going to get it.
Both teams a little sneaky there. McNeely didn't get that one to go, but the tip just out of bounds from the Mustangs.
Ullman into the game for the Deacons. Stimson up to serve. And that's another missed serve by the Deacons. They're adding up.
They definitely are. Not an exact number, but their aces outweigh the missed serves right now, but they should not be missing this many at this point in the season.
I agree. Kaloran to serve. Miscommunication by the Deacons. You really got to call each other off and talk about what's going on. Middle set.
Oh!
Blocked by
Single block.
Holstein. Sent over by Metcalf. Out to Ullman. Tipped over. Dig by Kaloran. Outside to Saxlin. The set just a little too tight. That's another thing I think we've seen a little bit too much this game is missed sets and just missed timing with the hitters.
I agree. It feels like, especially on the Mustangs side of the net here, you can't really win. It's either the pass to the setter is too tight or the set is too tight to the net for the hitter.
Smith into the game for the Mustangs. Smith up to serve.
We got 12-15. Mustangs are up in this game 2 of this match tonight.
Dig by Rentschler. Sent over by Ullman. Linguist with the swing.
Great one by her.
And the swing by Ullman hit Engel in the face. We hope she's okay.
Yeah, I think that was a great one, Addie. I really love to see the aggression on both sides of the floor here, honestly. The Deacons are doing a great job tonight at that, too.
Sent over by Albrecht, but that's just out of bounds.
Awesome court awareness, too, by Stimson.
Hallstein back to serve for the Deacons, hoping to tie this set up. Great serve by her, handled by Engel. Outside to Saxland, barely over. And that swing straight down.
I mean, what are you going to do at that point? You have it right on the top of the net, and you have Albrecht right there waiting for you. It's going to go her way almost every time.
Scary to be the defense, Seeley.
Scary.
Detman back to serve for the Mustangs. Great strong serve. Outside to Saxland, blocked. Ullman with the solo block. That's crazy.
A few of these, too. I know I just saw Holstein had one for the Deacons. This block, it's hurting and helping both teams in so many different ways.
McNeely back to serve. Shorma with the swing. They will get that touch.
Yeah, called out, and I thought it was a touch too right away. Didn't see the call as soon, but
I agree, Seeley. Definitely a touch.
Go the Deacons' way.
And another miss serve for the Deacons. Engel back to serve. Great serve by her, handled by Robin. Middle set to Shorma, and that will be out of bounds for her. Just a little miscommunication, maybe a higher set needed for that. Shorma is definitely lengthy.
Definitely, I think her timing was just a little off. Could not get on top of that ball the way that she had wanted.
Engel back to serve again for the Mustangs. Great serve by her, handled by Rentschler. Little miss set. Free ball sent over. Blado with the tip, just out.
And that is some call. Really close game here. Called out of bounds. It's going to be a Deacons point.
Served by Rentschler, handled by Kaloran. Back to Smith, pushed over, handled by Cutterba. Out right side to Paul. That's a hard swing for her, but she makes the most of it. Great swing. Free ball sent over to the Deacons. Not handled well. Robin, tip over. Outside to Kaloran, sent over. Great dig by Rentschler. Middle hit again for Shorma. Another attempt by Kaloran. Right side to Linguist, and oh my goodness. That is the most heat we've seen for the Mustangs tonight.
I agree. And just the way that both teams were battling at the net, too. It's so exciting to watch. It really could have gone either way. And now 17-19 Mustangs up in this game, too. It's a close one.
Very close. This is what we expected. Linguist back to serve. And that just cannot happen this late in the set.
It's killing me, Addie.
There's been too many of those.
They're adding up for both teams at this point.
Cutter about to serve, handled by Engel. Out to Kaloran, great swing, handled by Vetter. Right side to Paul, great swing from her off the block. Detman with the dig. Metcalf with the swing. Vetter with another dig. And the dump kill from McNeely. I thought that defense was going to pick that up, but just an unfortunate touch off the block.
Definitely, and I think that McNeely does that kind of setter dump better than almost any of the setters I've seen play this year. Just knowing exactly the right time, and I think she's done it maybe 3-4 times, and I know 2 for sure. It's worked out in her favor, and that's great odds. Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button, or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level.
Cutterba back to serve for the Deacons. And another service error. I think that's the first one we've seen in the net this set. A lot have been long, but a service error is a service error, and they just can't be happening.
I agree, and I really do wish I started keeping track at the beginning and kind of forgot as the game went on. I really do want to know what the actual numbers are for these missed serves.
Boudreaux with the serve, handled by Vetter. Middle set to Robin. Great dig. Albrecht with a little mishit, but great dig by McNeely. Free ball sent over from the Deacons to the Mustangs. Outside Kaloran. Great dig by McNeely. Another free ball sent over, however. Metcalf, another dig. Just an unfortunate hit off the ceiling. But that is a great pursuit of defense by Bryn McNeely.
Definitely, McNeely almost targeted there, and she got it up every time. Just a tough run with the ceiling there at that last little portion of that play. Another timeout here. 19-21 Mustangs are up in this game 2. What do you think the Deacons have to do to bring it back in their direction?
I think the Deacons just have to have the energy back on their side. We're seeing a lot of just kind of chaotic plays. They need to calm down, go back to the basics, and stop sending so many free balls over to the Mustangs.
I agree, and the Mustangs have not played their best volleyball at all yet this game, and they are still leading the Deacons here. I think it's just a matter of coming back with the momentum.
I agree. Boudreaux back to the serve for the Mustangs. Great serve by her, handled by Vetter. Right side set to Paul. Great dig by Engel. Free ball sent over. Holstein mistimed. Great dig by Linguist and Engel. Free ball sent over. Handled by Vetter. Middle to Holstein, and that's just out of bounds.
You could tell, too, she just did not get on top of that ball the way that she had wanted either. That's a tough one for Holstein.
There's 2 moments in that rally where there's kind of miscommunications between the middle and setter. This point in the season, that should not be happening as often as it has this game. Tipped into the net by Paul. Boudreaux back to serve again for the Mustangs. She's on a great run.
I think the longest we've seen from the Mustangs tonight.
Handled by Robin. Outside, back to Robin. Dig by Engel. Outside set to Kaloran, but that's going to be a double contact on Boudreaux.
I think that's 2 of those in both games tonight so far from her for the Mustangs, and a lot of these errors just seem a little too controllable to be errors, if you know what I'm saying there, Addie.
Stimson back to serve, and that's an ace. That is a clutch play and needed to happen for the Deacons. Hopefully that gives them momentum to continue to pursue the excellence that they know. Another one. And that's just a miscommunication on the other side. That ball should have gone over.
I agree, and I think one thing that you have to keep in mind, too, is Holstein was right there, ready to pounce on any ball that came even close to her net. I mean, there's a big, big presence at the net on both sides of the floor tonight, and that's a big factor of how this game is going. 22-23, Mustangs still holding on to the lead just barely in this game, too. Taking a timeout quick here to slow down, gain their composure once again. Stimson's going to be serving. Definitely want the ball in her hands. She has had a great season serving so far. I think the Mustangs really just got to get it to their center and let their hitters work their magic.
I agree. Great serve by her, handled by Linguist. Right side to Kaloran. And just touched. That ball may have been going out of bounds, but at this moment in the set, too close not to take it.
Definitely, it was the right call by Stimson. Just couldn't get there in time to where she had wanted.
Kaloran up to serve. Set point for the Mustangs. Handled by Cutterba. Great save by Stimson. Outside Saxlin. Block touch. Sent over by Caitlin Ullman. Middle tip. Great defense. Tip for Robin. And that is the most perfect spot.
That is clutch right there. You saw Stimson had a one-armed little tap thing there. I mean, just unheard of here. Falling all over each other and still getting the point to go your way. And now you have Robin serving. She really just has to hone in, settle down, and get this one.
Handled by Linguist. Back to her and into the net. That is a costly mistake.
I mean, if you can't be the one to make the point happen for your team, hope that the other team makes their own mistakes, and that's what's happening.
Robin back to serve, handled by Linguist. Middle tip to Albrecht. Over Holstein. Great push over. Ullman, great swing. So smart.
And if you look at the faces of these players on both floors, you can tell, without wearing a jersey, who is on which team. The Mustangs are looking down, and the Deacons have the momentum, looking excited and energetic.
Outside swing, blocked back. Tip for Metcalf. Great defense, but that's a miss hit by Rentschler. Point Mustangs.
This is just a nail biter. I'm just jolting at every point right now, Addie. This is what we want to see.
Smith back to serve. Her defense has been great in this game and has really been making a difference. Great serve by her as well. Handled by Cutterba. Out to Ullman. Set a little too tight, but she handled that perfectly.
Well, and such a smart play by her. A lot of younger players would really try and get a swing on it, hit it hard as they can. But she sees it's a little off. She sees the spots, and she decides to make the smart volleyball play.
Holstein with the serve, and that's an ace.
And that is going to go in the Deacons' favor, 27-25. This game, too.
That's a great hustle and pursuit by Engel, but that's just not enough.
No, and again, this is just a crazy game of momentum. I think that you can see the Mustangs had it for a while, but never really capitalized on it like they should have. And the Deacons take whatever little ounce of it they can get, and that obviously worked in their favor.
I agree. The defense of, Engel and Smith has been so outstanding and really made a difference in that set. I think if they can keep that up and their hitters can put more balls down, they will take the next set.
I agree. I think the biggest thing is that they didn't start out strong. They've been working up to it, and I think the obstacle that they're going to have to jump over now is going to be the mental block of, okay, we're down 2-1. We're going home tonight if we do not get this set. And I think that that's really going to mess with them. And on the other hand, you have the Deacons, who are kind of with the opposite kind of phenomenon here, that they can't let down. They might be feeling, we've had a really great past few games, let's sweep them, whatever they're thinking, and they really have to stay on the ball. Think of it as if it's the first set.
I agree, Seely.
We'll be right back with some more volleyball action. All right, we're back here. Just out of bounds there from Albrecht.
Stimson back to serve for the Deacons. Great serve by her, handled by Kill. Kaloran with a swing, but just out of bounds, trying to cut it, but just a little too much. Stimson back to serve again. Handled by Kaloran, outside to Albrecht, rolled over. Great defense by Stimson, out to Robin. Great swing by her, handled by Engel. Outside, Kaloran again, and that's a beautiful swing. That's a great way to come back after an error.
Definitely, I agree. She really got that. She really got a hold on that ball, and I think that's something that the Mustangs have been lacking tonight. They just haven't had any good, crisp hits.
I agree. Kaloran served over. Free ball sent over. Middle swing, Albrecht, a little mishit, handled by Cutterba, back to Ulming. Great dig by Kill. Out to Saxland, excuse me, but just hit into the antenna. That's a point for the Deacons. Rentschler into the game for the Deacons, and Robin back to serve. And that's a missed serve into the net.
Again, a lot of missed serves, very controllable things here that we're seeing go either way for the two teams tonight.
Linguist and Lopez into the game for the Mustangs. Lopez back to serve. Great serve from her, handled by Rentschler. Right side slide set. Kill by Carly Hallstein. That was beautiful to watch.
I mean, there are just not many things on this earth that are as beautiful as Carly Holstein hitting a slide. It is just so gorgeous.
Holstein back to serve. Handled by Lopez. Free ball sent over by Linguist, handled by Holstein. Back to Ullman, a little misset. Dug over again. She gets another chance, but that's just out of bounds. A little mishit from her.
Yeah, that's something I think that we kind of got to touch on too, is those ones that are right at the net. Ullman has the decision. You can hit it up, play it out on your side, or take the hit right away. And I think oftentimes when the Deacons are trying to get the hit right away, they're getting excited and causing it their own errors, hitting it out of bounds. Set it up, get it to your setter.
Out of rotation for the Deacons. Very uncommon. A little confusion, but they'll fix it.
Definitely, I don't think I've seen that call called on the Deacons this year at all.
Detman back to serve for the Mustangs. Great serve by her, handled by Cutterba. Sent outside to Rentschler, and great swing by her just through the block.
And that takes such skill and confidence to get that ball coming from behind you and hit it the way she does with the Mustang block in her face. Very impressive.
Paul into the game. McNeely up to serve. Great serve by her, handled by Lopez. Middle set to Blado. Great swing. Dig by Robin. Outside to Rentschler. And that's just going to be a hit into the net.
Those are the toughest ones to watch, too, when you know if it had just been, a few inches, a foot higher, it would have just been so beautiful.
Engel with the serve. Sent over by Cutterba. Roll for
Great
Kaloran.
hustle.
Great dig. Middle set to Blado. Oh my goodness. That might just be the best middle set we've seen all day.
The best hit we've seen all day. That has to be one of the best plays I've seen of this game. Just amazing spot and amazing speed on that ball from her.
Engel back to serve. Great serve by her, handled by Cutterba. Middle set to Shorma. Just a little wacky. I don't know how to describe that. Just wacky.
Yeah, I think that's a great word choice there, Addie. Just like completely off-footing, not really jumping there. Not the Shorma that we know and love.
Engel back to serve, Sent over by Rentschler, and that will work for her.
That is some play for the Deacons.
That may have worked for the Deacons, but I'd really love to see the passers and setters for the Deacons focus up and work on delivering good balls to their hitters, because right now we see a lot of mistouch, kind of lucky, and that's just not the Deacons.
I agree, and again, points are points. It counts the same as however you win it, but we really do want to see a little bit higher level kind of teamwork and plays from the Deacons at this point in the season. 6-8 here in this game 3 tonight. The Deacons are down. Obviously, we know they can come back from that as they did in this last set here, but we'll have to see how this will shake out. I really want to see Cheyenne come through and kind of prove themselves that they deserve to be here.
Metcalf and Kill into the game for the Mustangs. Kill up to serve. Great serve by her. Handled by Cutterba. Out to Robin. Great lucky roll off the net.
And it's just so impressive. Again, I'm really praising these hitters tonight for the Deacons, but Robin had no room to even do an approach. She purely jumped straight off the ground and just absolutely smacked that into the Mustang side.
Outside hit to Kaloran. Great dig by Vetter. Right side, tip by Paul. Great dig by Engel. Outside to Kaloran. Great dig by Cutterba. Right side, Jordan. Paul. But she is blocked. Boudreau up to serve. Albrecht into the game. Great serve by her, handled by Vetter. Outside to Holstein. That's a different look from her.
And she makes it work every time. You would never know what position she plays. She'll play back row. She'll do whatever you need her to do. Such a great player.
Stimson back to serve Ullman into the game for the Deacons. Great serve by her, handled by Engel. Right side set to Cloran. Great dig by Stimson. Right side, great swing by Ullman.
Oh my gosh! Right on the sideline there. And the Deacons have tied this up 9-9. So impressed tonight with the Deacons and their ability to stay on track.
Stimson to serve again, and that's an ace for her. A miscommunication on the Mustang side. That ball really has to come up.
Definitely, I think that's something the Deacons have had an unheard of amount of aces tonight. I really do want to see some of these stats at the end of the game just to see really how many they have had.
Kaloran with the roll over the net, handled by Cutterbub. Back to Ullman. Great swing. That's a great swing for her.
I was just going to say, that's an exciting one to go off the block that perfectly. It goes into your own teammate's, team's bench. That's a good one.
Ullman with the serve, just out of bounds on the sideline.
Oh, it hurts. I'm cringing over here. A lot of missed serves from both sides tonight.
Kaloran back to serve for the Mustangs. Handled by Vetter, middle set to Holstein, tipped over. Kill with the set in transition, and that's a kill for Metcalf.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I want to touch on. We haven't seen a lot of great connection with Holstein and these quick sets that we usually see from the Deacons, and then the Mustangs are just capitalizing on anything they can get.
Kaloran back to serve. That's a great serve for her. Handled by Cutterbot, tipped over by Robin, and another miscommunication.
Three Mustangs right there, too.
That ball needs to come up.
They are going to be working on some serve receive. And
Coach Newton honored
any receiving, they're going to be working on that tomorrow at practice.
I agree. Tip over by Albrecht. Way to get up for Holstein. Block.
Wow. And you could see the way that they pushed that down, too, right to the left. And great play by the Mustangs. They're trying to get that one up, just couldn't get it to go where they wanted.
The Mustangs here take a timeout. What do you think needs to change?
Again, I'm a real big proponent of just energy. I'm not seeing a lot of excitement on the Mustang side, even for some of these good points. They aren't getting as excited as they need to. You can see the Deacons are, and it's obviously working for them. The Deacons, just recently down to, are now up to 13-11 in this third game tonight. And I think what Coach is going to say to the Mustangs is trust yourselves. They just seem so slow, just so kind of intentional with their movements, and they just need to trust how hard they've worked and that they deserve to be here. We got Addie's mom taking some pictures of us up here, having a fun time today. Definitely a great game tonight.
Robin is back to serve for the Deacons.
Let's see if she can go on a little run here.
Great serve by her, handled by Kill. Outside set to Saxlin, tipped over, but she was under the net. Very unfortunate, and we really have to pull those sets off for her.
Again, so tight to the net. It's hard to make things happen when things are just kind of against you like that.
Robin with the serve, handled by Saxlin. Middle set to Albrecht, handled by Simpson. Out, swing from Paige Rentschler, and she will get the kill.
Again, I'm seeing more chemistry here from the Deacons as these sets have gone on. And the Mustangs are just still kind of in that little slump, not really working together how they... That one was a close one right in the corner
close.
there. But again, a miss is a miss.
Lopez and Linguist into the game for the Mustangs. Lopez back to serve. Little miscommunication on the Deacon side, and that will just be rolled out of bounds for the Deacons.
And some of those kind of balls are tough. Again, Ullman kind of tasked with deciding, do I free ball it over? Do I try and hit it? It's a tough one.
Lopez back to serve again for the Mustangs. Sent over, handled by Cutterbot, out to Ullman. And
You
and
could
that
hear
is a
that.
way to make it up.
You could hear that hit the arms of that Mustang defensive player. That is just absolutely insane.
Sealy, I was just about to mention how the gym is dead. There's no energy, and that changed it all. Great dig by Stimson, back again, and she got blocked this time. That's another huge momentum shift for the Mustangs.
I agree, and I think they have to use it. You can see, I think we got some of these other fans here for the Deacons coming back. Maybe they can boost some morale too. 16-14 Deacons are up in this third game.
Getman back to serve. Handled by Robin. Back to Ullman, and another one for her. She's a game changer, isn't she, Sealy?
That's a nice one from her, and we've seen a lot from her today. She is having yet another big game from her.
Paul into the game for the Deacons. McNeely back to serve. And that's another misserve. We've said it over and over and over again. Serving is so important.
If only they could just hear us, right, Addie? I mean, it feels like we're saying the obvious, but it's hard. They are spot serving, but really at this point, there's no excuses.
Engel back to serve. Handled by Robin. Another miscommunication. Sent over by Paul. Outside set to Cloran. Rolled over. That is what I thought.
That took a little bit, but they did make that call right into the tape.
4 contacts. I was a little hesitant to keep on speaking, Sealy, because I didn't believe that went over, but they got the call after a few seconds.
They came through. They heard you.
Rentschler back to serve, handled by Engel. Middle set to Blado, tipped over. Way to cover. Right side set from Engel to Linguist. Great dig by McNeely. Out of system set to Paul. Another out of system set to Caloran. And blocked. Another huge momentum shift.
And you can see after every good point, the Deacons bench is excited. Everyone is excited. And you can see over here on the Mustang side, I see no energy. I see everyone sitting and simply watching the game unfold.
Rentschler with the serve, handled by Engel. Outside set to Caloran. Great dig by McNeely, out to Robin. Great swing by her, powering through the block. That takes so much strength, Sealy.
Well, and you have a big block right there. And Robin says, okay, and let me just hit it right through.
Rentschler back to serve again for the Deacons. Handled by Lopez. Outside set to Cloran, another offset. Middle set to Shorma, and that'll do it. So beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Again, that power from Shorma just harnessed. She really does need a really good set to use her strength.
Rentschler up to serve again. And that is an ace. There's just no stopping her on the service line.
Definitely. I mean, she's had her share of off serves today, but with that ace and a very well-deserved timeout there for the Mustangs. Now down 7, 22-15. Deacons are ahead in this game 3. If you're the coach for the Mustangs right now, Addie, what are you telling your girls?
I'm telling them to get out of their heads. They know what they're capable of. Go back to the basics. Focus on what you know how to do and don't worry about anything else that's going on. You aren't able to control Rentschler's serve or Ullman's swing. You're able to control what you do on your side of the court. So focusing on that and really making the most of it.
Very well said, Addie.
Rentschler back to the service line. We knew she was a threat on offense in the front row, but look at her serving. Outside, tip to Kaloran, and that's tucked into the block. They stopped that run.
Good way to come out of that timeout there for the Mustangs.
Kill and Metcalf back into the game. Kill back to serve for the Mustangs, trying to loop a run. Great serve by her, handled by Cutterbaugh, right side to Shorma. And that's a bullet out. Sometimes you just miss hit and it happens.
That's a tough one. We see a lot of great points from her and a lot of really not so good points. There isn't very much of an in-between with her. We need her to be on for us to get this game in the bag.
Robin with the great pass. Right side to Paul. Great swing from her, handled by Ingo well. But another miscommunication.
Again, the Mustangs should have gotten that up. That didn't have a lot of heat on that ball, and they just simply didn't.
I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but on the volleyball court, you cannot have people running into each other. And it's happening a lot for the Mustangs. They got that point, however, on Kaloran's swing off the block.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not helpful when you're running into your own teammates. And things like that are what's been going on for the Mustangs tonight. They are only down 5 now, 23-18. They can make this happen. They just have to believe.
Swing from Robin, way to cover yourself. Again, covering herself. Sent over by McNeely. Right side set to Metcalf. And that's a great swing. Nothing you can do about that. It was just smart.
And I think Cutterbaugh just barely had touched that. Better deciding if she was going to go for it. But again, a lot of heat on that ball. They can make this happen now. Only a 4-point lead for the Deacons here.
Boudreaux back to serve. Well handled by Vetter. Right side to Paul. Great swing from her. Kaloran with the swing. Another missed set. Paul with the swing. Outside set to Kaloran. And another missed set. But an even worse miscommunication on the Deacons side.
We haven't seen that a lot from the Deacons tonight. They've been pretty good at covering their tracks, getting those balls right inside the 10-foot line, but there just did not get there in time at all.
Boudreaux with the serve and into the net. That's a tough one.
Oh, that is one that you want back. Again, we talk about these things on the volleyball court that you can control. You can control if you get your serve over the net, especially in a game situation like this now. Match point for the Deacons.
Serve by Stimson. Match point for the Deacons. Swing by Albrecht. Blocked over. Little miscommunication again by the Mustangs. Right side Ullman, tip off the block, and no better person to end it.
No better way to end it. A perfectly placed tip right off the block. This has been an exciting one, Addie. It's going to be the Deacons on top. I had a great time announcing with you. I think that this just shows that the Deacons are really out to play this year, and the Mustangs still have a lot to prove. For Addie Bogenreef and our entire crew, I'm Sealy Stockmill. The final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons 3, Sheyenne Mustangs 0. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com. The preceding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.